Welcome back. Today's video is on Bitcoin and the overall crypto market space. Of course, you don't need me to tell you this, but we've been having a lot of selling pressure in the market. And so I'm sure a lot of people are on YouTube now asking themselves, is Bitcoin okay? Are we going back to 15K? What's happening? All this sort of stuff, blah, 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 blah. So in this video, I'm going to cover that. I'm also going to cover some altcoins that I talked about in my previous videos, give you a quick update on them. But normally my YouTube channel is 90% altcoins. So if you're a fan of altcoins and you want good, honest, high quality reviews on those altcoins, subscribe to the channel. But let's get right into the video for Bitcoin. So of course, like I said, you don't need me to tell you this, but I'm going to say it anyway, Bitcoin has been bleeding. Now this is to be expected because we have had several weeks up, several of them. So this is a weekly chart. And if we look at it now, you can see Bitcoin basically had the low from November 2022 and it's been going up, but we had this really crazy meteoric rise going from October last year. And we've really pushed through and we broke the key area of 38K, which is an important zone, which we're currently finding support on. Now, let's just get right to the gates. 15K is nowhere happening in 2024. There's pretty much a 0% chance of Bitcoin hitting 15K or even 20K or even 25K. 30K potentially, but unlikely. And that is just simply because the American stock market, guys, actually the S&P 500 just topped an all-time high. All right, this is a chart of the S&P 500. Now, everyone likes to think, oh, the S&P, the American stock market's up because of AI. That's part of the narrative. But if you pay attention, inflation's coming down and the next bull run is getting started. Now, you could argue we've already been a bull run because we've had consecutive quarters up, but basically once interest rates start to come down, people are going to borrow money more. They're going to borrow money more for their businesses. They're going to employ more people. They're going to reinvest that, borrowing into more capital and more human capital and investment as well. And that's going to, drive economic activity. And so all this is getting priced in at the moment, but it's going to continue to go up. Investors are not stupid, guys. Everyone likes to act like some investors are stupid. This has been going up since October 23, right? This takes a lot of, we're talking trillions of dollars to push up a market like the S&P 500. And they did it with ease. And so it doesn't surprise me that we've actually pushed past the all-time high and we're probably going to go higher as of right now. So do expect things to get better in terms of the economy, and the US is leading the market in that category. And so going into crypto, that basically puts crypto in a good position because if the American market goes up, crypto should move up with it. Now, it's just going through a little bit of churn at the moment because, like I said, we've had such a meteoric rise and the ETF just launched. And unfortunately, if you're a retail investor and you bought the ETF, I don't think anyone watching this bought the ETF because you will just go on a crypto exchange and buy the Bitcoin itself. But if you are an individual consumer who's too scared of exchanges and actually bought the ETF, you got dumped on. And this always happens, right? It gets priced in and then they get dumped on, and it's going to be all of the news, how bad of an investment Bitcoin is because you've lost 15% already, things like that. But you can see at the moment, eventually prices do drop until it gets too good and the whales do come in and support it. And we have finally had a pretty good indication of the price coming in with this candle here, okay? This one right here. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you know I like Gann and Wyckoff analysis, particularly Wyckoff. I love volume analysis. I think it works really, really good in the crypto market space. And so this little wick that I've drawn a funny looking arrow on the Tuesday, 23rd of Jan, which was yesterday, we finally got significant support, okay? We had above average volume in this volume chart right here. The white squiggly line is a 30-day moving average. So we had above the 30-day moving average for volume coming in, and we closed right at the top, and it closed at 0.83%. And we found a beautiful support at around that 38K, which coincides with some areas of resistance prior going to last year, November. So that's a really good sign. Now, it is on a daily. If you want the best confirmation, that usually comes in a weekly chart. Weekly charts are your favorite. They are really, really good because they really show you a lot of significant support. So look at this one right here on the 11th of September. This is basically a whole week of support. And you can see after you get significant sign of support for the whole week, I mean, you really don't have to wait long before you start to really creep up and go really, really well and start to basically get a strong push to the upside. So weekly charts, I'm starting to really love on the crypto channel. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go back to 40K anytime soon. Of course, it's crypto, anything can happen. But at the moment, support is coming to the market, but we need a little bit more for Bitcoin. But the American stock market should put you at ease that if the American stock market just put an all-time high and it looks like it wants to go higher, that should give you confidence that crypto won't be far behind it. And so everything's making the way for interest rates to come down globally this year. Different variants, of course, of how low interest rates will come, but inflation has really come down massively to the point now where the banks and central banks and the stock market all understand that rate cuts are not too far. And like I said, in businesses, people, mortgages will come down and they'll put that money into new investment, new technologies, hire more people, and people's wages are increasing, and that's going to gear up the next bull run. And like I said, you can probably argue we're in a bull run already, but it's really going to make sure things are popping off quite nicely. But we need a little bit of a breather because we've had such a meteoric rise going from October to November last last year. So that's Bitcoin. Now, let's have a look at ETH, because ETH has actually had a bit of a sell-off at the moment, which is a little bit tough to see. But ETH, guys, I've been talking about ETH on my channel. ETH is my personal favorite cryptocurrency. You can buy it, you can buy a lot of it, you can put 100K in it, you can put $1 million in it, and you will not feel too bad if it goes down, because you know this thing is just basically a horse. Now, the low for Ethereum came in on the 13th of June 2022. That was the low. So we've almost had basically almost 2 full years of Ethereum, for all intents and purposes, going up. And that's quite rare for a cryptocurrency to do that. And that's why I love Ethereum. Even Bitcoin didn't do as well as Ethereum. Now, Bitcoin's pushed up more than Ethereum, but Ethereum hasn't pulled back as hard. And so you can see it finding support at around that, what is that? That's about $2,150, call it, or maybe a bit, yeah, about 2,136. That's where the support has come through. And you can see it right here, okay? I know there's a lot of funny lines coming on the chart, but it's basically this one here, okay? Hopefully that white is coming through. And that's beautiful, all right? You get your support, and now we're getting some good volume coming in. Volume is everything. The whales are coming in, supporting the market, because they think this price is a juicy price and they're expecting higher prices in the future. How far into the future? It's tough to give exact time frame. Any YouTuber who gives you an exact time frame is full of it. But you can have a rough time frame. And so this looks like we're going to have a pullback for a couple of weeks, and then we'll see how we start moving on, probably Q2 of this year, and we start to make waves. But you don't want a full-on blow off top with things going crazy, because it's going to signal a big hard down. So you want a nice gradual uptrend, and that's why Ethereum's beautiful, because you can actually weather through the storm when it does go down. And so if we have a look at total market cap 1, you can see finding support, well, not really finding support, but you can see support coming at the 1.26 trillion. So quite a bit of ways to come if we need support. And then total market cap 2, again, there's your beautiful support right there on that swing top at around that 701 bill right there. And then total market cap 3, again, finding support right there at that 450 bill mark right there. So you can see how easily I've labeled these and putting my retracements on there, and you can see how well it does come down. Now they can break. Next week it could break. The week after it could break. But at the moment, finding support, and so you could call it like you see at the time. And these are on weekly charts, so they're quite good time frames for cryptocurrency. Let's have a look at some altcoins. I did a video on these, and I did a video that people did seem to enjoy with my top 5 recommendations for 2024. So Injective Protocol is still doing very, very well. Now we have had a pullback just like with everything, but look at Injective Protocol. You basically had a meteoric rise coming from October, going from about, what is that, at $12 to $33. It is natural you're going to get a pullback, and so I'm looking for support at the $29 mark. So look for that. If it breaks $29 and closes below that, not a good sign. But at the moment, this thing is pulling back, but not as hard as the other ones. And so you can actually tell that by the market cap. So this is Injective Protocol by its market cap. So this is Injective Protocol versus every single other cryptocurrency. And you can see it's actually doing very, very well. So again, pumps up and stays up. Bit of churn and a lot of volatility and volume coming into the market. You can see a lot of volume, but you can still see that it's not getting a big dump like some other cryptocurrencies. TIA has been another one that I've been looking at, and you can see TIA getting massive support yesterday as well. So that's probably going to call out the low at the $14.50. This is a really, really good cryptocurrency. I think this, I don't mean to sound like a YouTuber, crypto bro YouTuber, but this really does have the potential to climb to $100 at the moment. This thing has just been such an absolute beast right out of the gate, going from $2 to $16. And the way I know this is the Gann analysis. If this thing, it just keeps going uptrend, and trends can keep going on longer than you think. And so you do have your pullbacks, but look how much support comes in when you get your pullback. Okay, they really come in on good volume. And so that's telling you that, yeah, they're expecting prices to go up. Again, whales aren't stupid. And this is TIA against the crypto market cap. And again, you can see just going uptrend basically. So even though the market's pulling down, you put your cryptocurrency on a dominance chart, and you can actually see how much it's doing well against the whole crypto space. And if it's going up while everything's going down, telling you got a strong crypto. And if we have a look at SEI, this one's doing pretty well too. Quite volatile, but support coming in around that 58 cents for the time being. And all these cryptos are getting support as of yesterday. And again, with its dominance chart, not as clean as the other ones. So be careful with how much money you put on this one. And then you have Ray finally finding support around that dollar mark. So that's a pretty good easy stop loss. Shouldn't break $1, and particularly should not be breaking about 94 cents. And again, Ray on the dominance has come down quite a bit, so be careful. Dominance is a really easy chart to read. And so we have Axelar as well. This has actually been doing quite well, but again, it is low on the market cap, so be careful with your weighting. So that's just a quick overview of the last video I did. I'll link that above. But for the time being, guys, it is looking good so far for the market. Again, look at the S&P 500. All the investors can see that it just topped an all-time high and wants to go higher. And so you should be betting that crypto will follow suit, but it has had such a huge push up that eventually supply does have to be tested and see where the next base forms before the next leg up. But no 15K, no 20K, no 25K Bitcoin in 2024. You can call me on that one, but I seriously doubt that there's going to be any heavy selling this year that's going to make Bitcoin go to that point. So we'll see what happens, but for the time being, crypto is looking good. Finally, we're getting some support, but I want to see a little bit more coming to the market, but I'm pretty certain with this video. So that will do it for this video. If you enjoy the content, give it a like, give it a subscribe, but I will catch you on the next video.